Go.
And now, for your listening and hunting pleasure, straight out of Milwaukee, the least talked about podcast in Wisconsin, Hypocritical, your outlet to let us praise or vent on all things that in the end really don't matter. And sometimes we talk about things that matter, as we probably will today. How you doing, Al3xaMKE?
I am doing okay. That's about all I'm going to say. This whole, we're going to talk about it later. We're going to talk about the election.
My hangover.
Not get too political.
Hangover, my election hangover.
Would you like some hair of the dog?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
So what'd you do this past week? I know I had a few things.
Well, again, in between watching the election and sobbing in my hands and, and things like that, I did get a couple things in. Did watch again, I love Dave Chappelle. We kind of talked about him a little bit with Atlanta. He was going to be on Saturday Night Live. Oh, I swear, one of the best Saturday Night Lives I've seen. Of course, there was a couple of dingers in there, but it was one that you could watch all the way to the end.
And I did. I did not fall asleep. So
off after the news, it's like nothing after the news.
Oh, half the time I'm asleep by the first sketch. I mean, seriously, because I get up real early in the morning. But the one sketch that really resonated with me, and I was just busting a gut, was the one with the white people in the room watching the election reviews.
Election results,
and Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock in the background laughing at them. I thought that was so awesome.
It's we all went through the, like, what do they call the stages of death? The denial, the acceptance, the bargaining. Right. It's like that's all that was. We were all doing that. Well, if he takes that, and then that happens. It's like we're. Yeah, well, I was on a Ouija board at the end there if it was going to happen or not.
Right. So I still need to catch up with South Park, and they've been kind of having an election parallel. So tonight we're going to catch up with South Park. Have you been watching South Park at all?
I've got it on DVR as well.
Okay, all right. Well, then we'll probably talk about that coming up. I went to go see Arrival last night, and one of the most...
That's the new space one with that big thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the most intelligent and human first contact movies in quite some time. I think there's going to be some Oscar nods. Hopefully there is. I don't know if the acting will get it, although I think it maybe deserves it. Amy Adams was great in this movie. Jeremy Renner plays, the male lead, and he's good, but I don't think he was as dynamic as Amy Adams, because Amy Adams, her whole performance was kind of understated, but perfect for the character. And the way they situated this, it's like it could have been a first contact movie that didn't seem intelligent, that was just too crazy. And I'm not going to give anything away.
Contact? You mean like Contact?
Well, it's better than Contact. And
right, exactly.
Honestly, it was really human. And I'm a physics nut. And so there were some things in there that I'm going, and there's some theories in physics that they draw in, and Jeremy Renner plays a scientist / mathematician. So it was really cool. And she's a linguist. So, she's the one who's brought in to play some of the, do some of the contact with the...
Sure. There's something on right now, even about like the Mars show, the Mars movie with Dave, and they're going over, like, they'll play a part of the movie and then they'll go back to the science behind it.
Yeah, to Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I got to get the same thing. He's going to watch this, and you can, like you say, draw parallels to, well, is this really feasible, or thought about that kind of stuff. So
yeah, so I enjoyed it. I definitely recommend it to people. It is not an action movie. It is definitely a thinking movie. So if you are not into that, it's not for you. But if you really love human interest and math and science and, just correlations between language and then, if you're not, adverse to watching a movie and thinking about it, this is a movie to go see. And it's brilliant. It really is. So
cool,
yeah,
cool. Put that on the list.
You had on here, you had the librarians.
Right. Well, that's a show. I mean, again, you've seen the show, right? I mean, at all on TV or Yeah, you got Noah Weil, is in it. He's like the main character.
Okay.
John Larroquette's in there. He's like the old guy, of
Oh my
course.
God.
You've got an Asian guy that's got a British accent, which is great. You've got your nerd, which is kind of like Bernadette from Big Bang, and she's got red hair, which is always a good thing for me. And then there's a beefy guy that's a brain, and then you've got the protector, the cop of the group is Rebecca Romanin. Rebecca Romaine. And I'll tell you, she sucks. I can get by. She absolutely, her acting is terrible. It's terrible. She's horrendous. I even starting to think she's unattractive. She's so bad acting now. So, but the rest of the show takes over for her. They can, that's how good it is that they can take a model that can't act and actually fill in the void for her.
Well, that's cool. Wasn't she the first Raven / Mystique in X-Men?
Oh God, was she? Oh,
yeah,
maybe.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, what else? Yeah, there's a lot of different things that happened to X-Men, as Deadpool pointed out. When he was the first Deadpool and the no face that he was in, and yeah.
Yeah, when they sewed his mouth shut and everybody got pissed off. The Merc with a mouth, and they sew his mouth shut.
Yeah. And of course, then, I guess coming up as well, as I mentioned, as I said, you got deer hunting this year. I know I'm really out there just helping all of us with insurance costs and putting meat in food banks, and and chronic wasting is having a problem. We don't want that. So those are all the positive things I'm out there to help you with this weekend.
We'll agree to disagree on that. Enjoy your deer hunting. I know a lot of guys who go deer hunting basically so they can sit in a tree and drink beer. So, but so I have an event I'm going to this weekend. It's on Friday the 18th. I believe Friday's the 18th. It's from 5 to 8, and it is the vegan Thanksgiving potluck. And this has been an ongoing thing for so long. I think it might be almost 2 decades. I'm not quite sure, but it's put on by United for America. Even if you're not vegan, if you love animals, this is a great event. It's $10 a person. Everybody has to bring a dish. We're going to put the link up on our Facebook, but we'll be there with the whole family. I know people go there every year. And if you love side dishes, like seriously, this is the event to go to, because there's over 200 people and there is so much food. And it is amazing. I mean, it's just the best thing ever. And this year, they've decided they want to have people label their gluten-free dishes as well. So people who are
gluten-sensitive. Another faction.
Another faction. Yeah, no. Well, there are people who have celiac, and there is gluten sensitivity.
It's just watching for it again. Yes.
Yeah. So I know one of the things I'm excited about. I read that. Do you know Robert Heinlein? Did you ever read his books?
I remember. I don't read because it ruins the movie. I don't read books.
Well, then you won't grok this. Stranger in the Strange Land is going to be made into a TV series. I am so excited about this. It is one of my favorite books from when I was very young. Robert Heinlein had some very strange ideas. I mean, some of his stuff was misogynist and whatnot, but Stranger in the Strange Land is about an alien who comes to Earth and is trying to assimilate. So again, sci-fi, I love it. I'm hoping it's epic. So yeah, I'm excited. How about you?
So it's kind of like MoKE, you're saying?
It might have been, it's interesting. It may have been a precursor to MoKE or something.
One grab from the other. Who knows which came first, the MoKE or the egg? Well, really, it was the egg, because MoKE came in the egg. Well, actually, it was
Happy Days. You do realize that MoKE landed in Milwaukee.
He had the talking finger back then. That's right.
Yeah, yep. And then apparently he moved to Boulder, Colorado. So.
Yeah, he fought Fonzie with his thumbs, right? Wasn't it a thumb war, him and Fonzie or something?
Yeah, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4. I challenge you to a thumb war.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
So how's your cord cutting coming?
My cord cutting, I ordered some memory, and I need to order a power supply, and then we're going to do some assembly. But the interesting thing about the cord cutting is I've been kind of, ramping up and doing some things. So I had talked about on a previous episode that we had put antennas on both our TVs. And guess what happened today to me?
You went down. Something went down.
Yes, the internet and the cable went down. And
good thing it went back up, or we wouldn't be doing the show right now.
Exactly. So my internet was down, and I knew because I was trying to get something on my phone and check it, and it's like, that's not going. I was on Wi-Fi, and so I went and I looked at my modem, and my modem is blinking, crazy things. And so then I just turned on the TV in one of the rooms, like it's black, and I turn on TV in the other room, it's black. So, I deal with Time Warner, and Time Warner was great because I dealt with them through the app, and, you can call right away, and I was told there was an outage. But here's the thing. Click, 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 TV. Chink. Locals channels back up. I could watch the news this morning, whatever I wanted to watch, as long as it wasn't on cable. And actually, I have all the apps on my Roku, and I have a Chromecast on the other TV, so I could watch whatever I want. And, having cell service, I had the internet access. So, yeah, if you want a cord cut, all you basically need is a cell phone, internet access, and an antenna, and you're good to go.
That's it. Well, good. Again, that's when it takes something like that to let you know how easy it is to give it up, right?
Well, yeah, and that was really interesting. So I was really happy and really gratified to see that, that all worked so well. I mean, it was just a transition. It's like, well, I was watching the news and was able to just, do my thing and go on with my day. It was awesome.
Fantastic. All right, so some internet ventures as we go along, some of the things. Did you see the Biden memes? Did you see a bunch of those?
Oh my God, those Biden memes were hilarious. Did you post some of those to our Facebook page?
I got to find the right link. I don't want to get them all the reshared and reshared. I got to get the original one. I think I found it because I sent it to my dad. So yeah, I'll post that one as well. But yeah, those were hilarious.
So speaking of Facebook, I know that I read, part of the thing with the election, we're going to do a little election rant, I guess. But Mark Zuckerberg is in denial because he thinks that the fake news that has been posted to social media, and specifically they were talking about Facebook, was not an issue in the election. What's your take on that?
Oh, thank you for asking. All right. So I do have some thoughts on here. And again, I don't really know how again, should I feel upset? Shouldn't I? I took a harder look at it. But let's talk about the first part of where this started from, is that their trending news seemed to lean one way or another. Again, they thought it was a little for the liberal left rather than the right, so they got a little help for that, and they said, well, no, it's not that, or it's not how we work trending. But they fired the whole department and put in an algorithm. All right, now this algorithm works for doing stuff like taking the napalm girl with the Pulitzer Prize photo that gets taken down, but not something with Hillary. Hillary sells scuds by the seashore. That doesn't get taken down. All right.
Let's talk about clickbait for a minute, because that's a clickbaity thing. And what happens, and people don't understand, when you click on something and it's false, that person who has their ads or whatever that's associated with it make money off of this. So it's not just to, you might think, oh, well, it's because, they're trying to sway the election. That's not the only thing that happens. They're also putting money in their pockets. And one of the ones that I found was really crazy was that the Pope endorsed Donald Trump.
Right.
Donald Trump is totally against immigrants, and yet the Pope is like so for immigrants, having human rights. And so it was crazy how they thought that, that was going to fly, but people believed it.
Right. Well, they are going to shut off the stream to money on those sites too. Now, but it's
a day late and a dime short, don't you think?
Yeah, it's an ongoing process. You never know how much it's really going to be in effect until it's in effect. Now, let's talk about if it really was in effect. All right. They were talking about one of them having 100,000 shares. Okay, let's break that down. First of all, there are 200 million U.S. Facebook users. Now, again, that's not including the world. I'm just going to use the U.S. And let's figure 100,000 of those, 100,000 shares, they weren't all U.S. people. It's the people over there across the pond that don't know that this is crap. They're the ones doing that. Okay, so let's take out a little bit of that. So even if I took 100,000 shares, 200 million people in the U.S., that's 0.5% of those people that actually got shared to. And you know what that 0.5% is? It's all those assholes we all have on our page that put the thing about, here's a Michelle Obama not putting her arm on her hand on her heart for the Pledge of Allegiance. Well, it's not a picture of Michelle Obama. You know, again, those guys is that 0.5%, and we all know who they are, and I smack them every time they throw one of those up. So we should be policing it ourselves. It is groups of people that these are important to, not whole. Our kids aren't sharing them, you know, people like us, we're not sharing them. It's a small group.
I think what it is it's those people who like to share them because they feel that they're right or it supports their position. And to me, fake news stories that are very clickbaity, they're going to always be there. We have to be vigilant. And I understand, you know, algorithms are always going to be used to help us. And one of the things that I've noticed about algorithms is it actually did change like my Google Plus flow. And Google also uses algorithms, and my Google searches have changed over, you know, the past several years. So they're always changing those algorithms. That's going to happen. Hopefully they will help us get better information. But when it comes to stuff like Facebook and social, it's going to be hard to police. That's my feeling. It's like you've let the genie out of the bottle. It's hard to get it back in.
Well, that's just it. And the really sad part about this is that, you know, half of adults get their news from Facebook. Oh my gosh, that was like, to me, that was the heart clencher of the whole thing. You know, it's like,
right?
Oh, really?
Really?
Okay. But I got to tell you, though, when I think about it's 0.5% of just U.S., all right, so when you ask Zuckerberg whether he thinks he had an influence, and he does one of those, what? No. I can believe him. You know, I can believe him. When he says that's a pretty crazy idea, 0.5% of people that have Facebook were this big group, this huge group. So no, they have nothing to do with it. But the cool thing is, as you mentioned, it comes from swells within. There's actually BuzzFeed is on a deal where they're reporting on the fact that there's a task force, a hidden renegade task force in Facebook right now that is trying to bring all this information together about how much it does happen, what kind of stories went through. They're bringing also, they have a better law algorithm.
What do they mean by renegade?
It's a renegade. It's a secret. The first BuzzFeed met with 4 of them. They said there's a dozen. There's a couple hundred people looking at it. They're meeting in secret. It's like Mr. Robot.
What? Crazy sauce. Crazy sauce. All right, well, let's go ahead and let's get a little bit of rant going on, because I know you wanted to talk about the anti-Trump rallies, and I kind of have a couple of things I want to say. So I'll let you lead us off.
Yeah, okay, mine's quick, because we know where we are. We all know we're crying over spilled milk on this thing and everything. But anti-Trump rallies, I don't believe it. Again, if again, like anything, you can start out nice and walk down there and think it's all well and good and you're being peaceful, but someone's going to kick over a can and it's going to get stupid fast. Just don't bother with it. Do a rally, make the right time, get the permits, do everything. You have a guy with a guitar, do it that way. Don't just do these, walking down the streets. We didn't like it when Black Lives Matter decided to do that. Why are we good too? And we're better than this, people. We're better. These are the people that said we're better than, and we're not showing that we're better. So that's my rant on the rallies. Now,
I'm gonna respond to the anti-Trump rally rant.
And I'm gonna let you have the floor. Here's my opinion of what happened in the election. America had the GP had a quarterback, sitting out there 3 quarters. We're ahead on the game. Everything's going great. We're heading down for another score. 3 quarters of play. Quarterback goes down. Now we look to the sideline, picking the person who has been on the team since they were a water boy, knows all the plays, knows everybody on the team. Instead of putting them in as quarterback, We took the loudest son of a bitch that was up in the stands going, I can do better, I can do better. And we said, hey, let's take that guy. And they brought him down and we put him in charge of the football team. Well, now I'm really interested to see.
Somebody else.
Really interested to see how that last quarter of play is gonna happen, and if we end up winning the game 4 years from now. So
okay,
all right, then I have the word. Thank you for letting me have that, Alexa.
Okay, so on the anti-Trump rallies, I completely support people protesting and rallying, provided it's peaceful, because they had to vent, and it was their public way of venting. And we do have the First Amendment that allows people freedom of speech. So as long as they're venting in a peaceful way, and they can write their signs out and have them on TV, that's great. I mean, you have people like the Westboro Church getting on TV. Let's have the anti-Trumpers have their 15 minutes of fame. I'm cool with that. What happened in Portland and Oakland, that was crazy. We don't want that happening. Yes, I agree with you there. We want to be better than. So if we are going to protest, we have to do it like Martin Luther King said, nonviolent protest, please. Nonviolent protest. Now, your other thing, we're talking about getting the loud guy in. Okay, fine. The loud guy got in, right? I mean, he says he can do it better. He's going to make America great again. Fine. But he's not my president. I didn't vote for him. So people who say, oh, we have to support him and, go along with everything he says, no, we don't. It is now our job to be vigilant. So what we have to do is anytime he does something that we think is going to impact our future, the future of our children, our current events that are happening now, we have to put our money where our mouth is. So if you don't like what he's doing as far as internet net neutrality, you need to support the Electronic Frontier Foundation. And then you need to support places like Freedom from Religion Foundation, because we don't want creationism in schools. That's going backwards. Evolution is science.
Daughters are afraid. My daughters are so afraid because of the Planned Parenthood situations and everything like that. They are afraid.
And, for me, it's like I support vegan things. There are things called egg gag laws. And basically what they are is you are gagging anybody from filming and bringing forth the atrocities that happen in the agriculture industry. And that has to do with the people who work there, the animals, the conditions. So we need to make sure those laws don't get passed. We need to be vigilant. So put your money where your mouth is. If you have a cause that you are very passionate about, support that cause with your money. If you don't have money, go out there and volunteer, get on the phones, put out pamphlets, be at events, and just make sure you're vigilant, because it is not our job to support him. It is our job to be good Americans and use the laws to make sure that America stays America. We have a separation of church and state. We need to make sure that happens. We're supposed to have basic human rights. Like you said, if you take Planned Parenthood away, 97% of what they do is well care. In fact, I think it may even be more to that. The abortion level is the lowest it's been in like decades since Roe v. Wade was passed. Abortion isn't the issue. We need to have well baby care. We need to have good counseling so people aren't getting pregnant who don't want to be pregnant. They need to have access to birth control. And that also is Plan B, which very right wingers like Mike Pence think is an abortion. It's not an abortion. It basically prevents an egg from attaching to the uterine lining. And so there are scientific reasons for not having these people make these crazy laws, because they don't understand the science. Climate change, the environment, all of these things that you maybe, think, well, we've made some progress.
He wants to stop the climate change stuff. Yeah, he just wants to shut that down. Yeah.
Right, and we don't want to go backwards. I mean, you say you're a hunter. Now, I don't hunt. I don't agree with hunting, but you're a hunter. You like environment, and you want your forests to be there. And even if you're like an ATV guy or a fisherman or something, you want to protect those lands. They want to sell them. They want to sell them to private interests, special interests, for mining, for whatever.
Yeah, if they want to mine, give me some good mining rights. Hey, yeah, I'm up for it.
Yeah. So there's that. That's my rant. I've got it off my chest. Be vigilant, people. If you voted for Trump, I hope he does all the things you think he's going to do. And God bless you for voting. But seriously, let's hope he does a good job, that he's a moderate president and not an extreme president. And, you know, we will hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
Right. And again, and again, I have one agree to disagree on that. I love all the things, swell from below, get yourself, make noise, all that kind of stuff from below. But again, I do, it's one of those little things again in me, the old white guy maybe, because he's our president. I did not vote for him, no, but I live in the United States. This is my United States of America. That's the guy in charge. That's my president. I lost this time, but you're right. I don't have to like him. I don't have to agree with him. I can fight him at every turn, and I will. But he's still my president.
Oh, I agree. He's still our president. And, you know, I'm not saying go out and do anything rash. But within the law, if you disagree, use everything within your means to disagree with him, whatever it takes. Spending your money, you know, like I said, towards these causes. You know, writing your representatives. When you come time to vote in 2 years again, vote some people out so they don't have a Republican Senate, a Republican House, a Republican president, and he's going to appoint very conservative Supreme Court.
This is going to be great. They're still not going to get anything done. They can rubber stamp everything they want to, and I bet they get nothing done. I bet they do. I bet they get nothing done. It's going to take them 2 years just to get people in the chairs, you know? So, yeah. All right, moving on. Hey, Summerfest is already only 9 months away.
Wait. Didn't you have a buffet rant?
We're quite late. Well, I'll save that.
Right.
I'll save that
for another time.
It's a rant. It's a story. It's one of my moments, and I just want to, you know,
It's a Moke moment.
Moke moment. All right. So yeah, and again, I Red Hot Chili Peppers. Saw them a few years ago. Great show. Love the show. Would, you know, I always tell anybody go see them. But Pink, I've never seen. She is on my bucket list. So
yes, I want to go see Pink too.
Tickets on sale tomorrow with the Summerfest thing at noon or 10. There's supposed to be a Summerfest kick, so I'm going to try to get in already tomorrow.
I thought it was Friday. I didn't get an email for
Friday for everybody. Special Summerfest before you should get a code, hopefully from Summerfest, for a pre-sale on Thursday.
I'll have to check my.
So yeah, sign up with China. Yeah, go to Summerfest. Try to, you know, put in your name, you know, email, and hopefully you can do that. All right, so that's cool. All right, some of the other things coming up, of course, we've got the 90th annual Milwaukee Holiday Parade. That's November 19th. By the time people probably listen to this, the tree lighting was going to be tomorrow, Thursday. We're doing the show on
the parade. So, you know, if people are shut-ins or they can't get out, that's going to be on Fox 6 in the morning.
Cool.
So you can watch that on TV.
Cool. Fantastic. All right. And then you also have the 18th annual Canadian Pacific Highway Train, North America's longest rolling food bank.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we tried last year to go, and I drove for miles trying to find a spot where I could watch it, and I didn't know it was such a big deal. It was like, I'm like, whoa! I'm looking for a scalper, to take us down front for the train, you know. All right. Yeah, so we just gave up on it at the end. But we'll have that posted for some times. They are coming to Milwaukee on December 5th. And December 6th, they're in Wauwatosa, Heartland, and Watertown. So kind of cool on that. Going with that, too, 26th Annual World's Greatest Cookie Sale out at the Grand Ballroom at Country Springs Hotel.
That
November
sounds very
25th.
fattening and delicious.
Like last year, I went to one of those at a church. It was really cool. You paid... What was it, by the pound? You know, and you got a box and you went around and you just picked whatever cookies you want, and then at the end they weighed it and you paid that amount, you know. So
did you buy 20 pounds of cookies?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I just was like, well, let's just a couple. It's kind of like I want many kinds, not many of a kind. So, you know, I just did a lot of sampling, but unfortunately you're at home when you find one you really like.
I was just going to say, it's kind of like one of those cookie exchanges, and it's like you got like 2 of this one, and it's like, oh my God, that's amazing. Do they have the recipe?
Right. That's what it's all about. You had to give the recipe with the cookies. Right.
Well,
all right.
I'm a fan of Festival of Trees because I love to see the color and the lights. And so a lot of them are at museums and places like that. So through December 1st, it's happening now. If you go up to Appleton, which is a little bit of a drive, the Trout Museum is having their Festival of Trees. With your admission, you get in to see the trees and the museum, which I think is really great. That's going on through December 1st. We have gone to the Christmas at Kemper down in Kenosha at the Anderson Arts Center. That's going to be running November 27th through December 4th. They have a raffle, so you can like buy some raffle tickets, put your thing in, and do the favorite one. You might get to take some trees home.
Home with you, yeah.
they have some other events going on with that. We're going to put links to all of this stuff. And then also the Festival of Trees and Music at the Wisconsin Conservatory down on the east side by the lakefront. That one is December 3rd, and then they go again December 5th through the 10th. So again, we'll put the link up, but that one has music and different types of events going on with it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I love those. They are amazing. So
sweet.
Yeah. So anything else you had to add?
No, I mean, again, we got just a couple seconds of one other thing coming up, which is going to be at the UWM Planetarium. Their newest show is Northern Lights, and that goes all the way.
Told me about that.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, it goes all the way to December 16th. Tickets are only $4, so certainly a cool thing. And it says can be purchased 30 minutes before the beginning of the show. So again, doesn't look like there's a lot of people going there. So take you and your sweetie. It's always a good place to take your sweetie because you get the darkness and you get the seats next to each other, and you can slouch down in the seats and look up, and it's a nice thing.
I actually have a little story to tell about the planetarium. So when I was in middle school, I was a little bit of a and so I had a boyfriend, and we had a
well, but girls mature quicker than boys, right?
Well, yeah, we had a thing at the planetarium, and we got yelled at because we were snoogling a little too much. So yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I've never had a flashlight shined in on me through a car window yet, so I was kind of happy of that all my youth. It ran away from a bunch of house parties through woods and things like that, but
we did that too. Yeah, that was a thing.
Oh, and that's another story. Oh, I'm gonna put that in there. I hit a cow once. I gotta put that in as one of my moments to talk about.
Oh yeah, we have to do that. One of those like fun little things. So,
yes.
So yeah, I think we're at our time. I want to thank everybody for watching. Of course, I want to thank your mom and my neighbor Pat and
hey
all
Pat,
of our
hey mom.
listeners. Yeah, hey Pat, hey mom. And if you tell 2 people and they tell 2 people, we're gonna become internet famous. Yes, we're still, there you go. Dave's holding up his hands. So yeah, I mean, and we're gonna have all the links to all these cool things on our Facebook page. We're still working on some of the technology and other, internet stuff that we're going to have up and running, and I apologize, but we've both been super busy.
Right, but but the funny thing is, all our fans, no one's been clamoring or giving us any bad reviews on everything we've had so far. So
right,
I'm really not hearing any ground swelling of problem again. So our fans must be okay, and that's great. Thank you to our fans for understanding and still enjoying our show with us.
Yeah, we love our fans. You guys rock. And you can email us at hip.or.critical@gmail.com. I'm Al3xaMKE, which is Al3xaMKE.
Easy for you to say.
At Twitter, and so that's my Twitter handle. You can shoot me a Twitter or a tweet. Yeah, I'm a nerd, right?
Yeah. Peace out. All right.
But we love y'all, Milwaukee. Go and celebrate holiday style.
Have a good Thanksgiving if you don't see us before then.
Yeah, have a great Thanksgiving. We love y'all. And high five. We
high five.